Hey guys, tonight we begin with the soft paws and silent judgments of the internet's favorite house overlord, the cat. This is the story of your day, one spent loafing in sunbeams, silently screaming at closed doors, and mastering the art of looking disappointed in humans without saying a word. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always oddly soothing to know who else is drifting off across the world. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You are not a lion. You are not a tiger. You are a soft, domesticated house cat. And somehow, you're still the boss of everyone. You blink your eyes open, slow and squinty. They narrow against the golden stream of morning light pouring through the blinds. The warmth across your side is perfect. Tail tucked, paws folded, whiskers still. This is your beginning. You are not expected to rush, to plan, or to explain yourself. The humans are busy preparing for their silly day, flapping around in their tight clothes and noisy shoes. But you are a creature of elegance, of quiet power. Your first action? A yawn. One so wide it contorts your entire face and shows off your fangs like a tiny lion's. Then you stretch, front paws reaching forward, back legs pushing out behind you, spine curling in a smooth arch, like a drawn bow. The stretch feels ancient, sacred. You finish with a single lick of your paw, because every proper ritual deserves a formal ending. The air is filled with quiet household sounds. A kettle whistles, a phone buzzes, footsteps pass by, oblivious. You remain in your sunlit puddle, soaking it in. The floor is cool beneath you, but that rectangle of light is all yours. Cats are solar powered, you know. Or at least, that's what you tell yourself. Occasionally, you shift to present a different side to the sun, like a rotisserie of calm. It's important to heat both evenly. You blink slowly, not from sleepiness, but from wisdom. The kind of blinking only those who have absolutely nothing to prove can afford to do. Eventually, you rise with a wobble and an elegant shake of your fur. A deep purring breath vibrates through your chest. You walk like liquid, shoulders gliding one after the other. Your claws click once on the hardwood, then retract. You pause by the window, your throne, your kingdom. It's time to begin the next phase of the morning. But not before you stop mid-step, distracted by the smallest speck of dust, caught in a sunbeam. You swat it, miss. Swat again. You pause, staring into the beam, mesmerized. This is the pace of your life. Gentle interruptions. Curiosity on a slow simmer. Decisions made by vibes alone. You aren't worried about tasks. You don't even have thumbs. The idea of productivity? Foreign. A to-do list? Adorable. Your only job is to be, and you're good at it. Eventually, with a tiny sigh you barely notice, you plop your fuzzy haunches back down and resume your loaf pose. That's the one where you tuck your paws underneath, round your body like a dinner roll, and stare directly into nothing. Outside, the wind nudges a few leaves. Somewhere, a bird chirps. You do not react. You hear it. You catalog it. But action? That's for future you. For now, you're simply enjoying existence. It's possible, historians still argue after all, that cats were once worshipped as divine beings in ancient Egypt. You've seen no reason to believe that ever stopped. And why would it? You're warm, clean, and mysterious. What more could any creature want? You blink again. The sun shifts. Your tail flicks once. You're ready to move, not because there's something urgent, but because you've been still long enough, and it's time to witness the world from a new soft perch. You leap up to the windowsill with the grace of someone who pretends they didn't almost miss it. The curtain sways in your wake, brushing against your side like a silk ribbon. Outside, the world unfolds, quiet, distant, and far less cozy than the spot you just left. Still, you observe it with deep, unwavering concentration. The neighborhood is teeming with motion. A squirrel darts along the fence like a miniature acrobat. You follow it, eyes wide, tail flicking. It's halfway to the tree before you realize you weren't planning on chasing it. Of course not. You're an indoor cat. You don't do open air or unpredictable weather. But you do observe, meticulously, like a bored royal who might, just might, issue a decree later. Below you, the human walks, by holding what appears to be a box of laundry. Your ears twitch at the crinkling plastic inside. Detergent. It is probably dangerous. You squint at them disapprovingly. They don't even realize they've been judged. They rarely do. You shift your weight, curling your tail delicately around your side. You press your nose to the window for a moment, letting the glass fog slightly with your breath. The scent of outdoors is faint, filtered through screens and dust, but it holds the aroma of 100 forbidden places. Grass, car exhaust, birds. You'd never want to live out there. Too loud, too messy, but you love watching. It's like the best kind of reality show, one you can judge without consequence. Your ears rotate like twin satellites, catching the faintest rustle of movement behind you. The fridge, the cabinet opening, possibly snacks. You flick your tail once to show you're considering getting involved, but you don't. Not yet. For now, your eyes remain fixed on the fluttering shadow of a bird across the fence. Your pupils widen, then narrow. The bird vanishes, and you forget it instantly. You settle into a deeper stillness. There's a car driving past, a slow, steady growl, and you track it with your eyes. You're not afraid of the sound, but you store it in your mental log anyway, just in case. You're always building dossiers on your surroundings, where the sunbeam falls, which floorboards creak, which humans forget to close doors behind them. You are the silent sentry of the household. You are unseen, and yet you notice everything. After a few more minutes of regal observation, you decide you've had enough of this channel. The window's not as entertaining today. Or maybe you've become too enlightened for it. Either way, you hop down again, landing with a soft thump that echoes across the wooden floor like a punctuation mark. You head for the hallway. Each step is deliberate, quiet, measured. There is no urgency in a cat's pace, only intention. Halfway down the hall, you pause. A noise. Something distant. Possibly the neighbor's dog. You freeze in place, ears perfectly still. After 3 seconds, you determine it's not worth your energy. You carry on, undisturbed. The hallway has the best acoustics in the house. Your claws make a soft tick-tick on the tiles before you retract them again. That sound, the delicate percussion of your own presence, is one of the only ways your human knows you exist. You pause by the heating vent and lower yourself into a small curl. The warm air hits your side. Yes, this will do for now. You nap lightly, ears twitching with every creak in the walls. You are never fully asleep during daytime. That's a myth. You are only resting your eyes, with complete tactical awareness of your environment. At one point, a small speck of dust dances across the tile. You open one eye, you follow it for a beat, then you close your eye again, let it live. A philosopher once said, "It is not that the cat thinks less of you. It is that the cat does not think of you at all." You believe that's false. You think about your human all the time. You think about how they open things, how they make food, how they consistently fail to interpret your meows. They are your live-in entertainment, sometimes your staff, occasionally your pillow. But now is not the time for philosophy. Now is the time to begin considering breakfast, or at least the subtle art of looking hungry without appearing desperate. A great performance is about to begin. You rise from your post, like a mist lifting off warm stone, tail unfurling in a smooth arc behind you. There's no rush, but there is a sense of purpose now, a calling that echoes from deep within your very soul and your stomach. Food, or at least the idea of food. You're not starving per se, but something about this particular corner of the morning makes you feel as though sustenance should be offered, a symbolic ritual, a transaction between deity and worshiper. You are, after all, the central figure in this home's religion. And the humans are, let's be honest here, only partially devout. You make your approach with casual elegance. The kitchen tiles are cool beneath your paws, and the sounds of the fridge opening in the distance are promising. You meow once, short and purposeful. Not desperate, just informative. A notification, like a feline push alert. Nothing happens. You meow again, longer this time, with a slight upward inflection. The universal tone for, "Excuse me, I believe I'm owed something." Still nothing. The human is preoccupied, pulling out boxes, clattering around with loud bags of frozen vegetables. Absolutely none of it is useful to you, so you escalate. The third meow is more dramatic, a winding, almost musical warble that trails off into a faint chirp at the end. You even rub against their leg, briefly, to sweeten the deal. You do not enjoy this, but you understand its necessity. It is politics. Finally, they notice you. "Oh, do you want food?" they say, as if this is your first ever request, as if you don't meow in precisely the same way every single morning. As if you haven't just spent the past 4 minutes performing a one-cat opera titled "The Ballad of the Neglected Breakfast." They shuffle to the cabinet. You follow, weaving between their ankles like a moving hazard. This is part of the game. You are both obstacle and participant. You heighten the stakes. You demand focus. They reach for the bag of dry food, and you go still. Your pupils dilate. Your tail flicks once, then curls around your front paws. You become a statue of patience, because now it is time for the ceremonial crinkle of the bag. There it is, that sacred sound, the rustling symphony of kibble cascading into a bowl. You feel it in your spine. You blink slowly, the way ancient emperors must have blinked when courtiers brought them gold. The bowl is placed on the floor with all the grace of a dropped rock, but you forgive them. You always do. You approach, pause, sniff. Yet, it's the same food as yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. But that's fine. You eat it anyway, because repetition is comforting. You are a creature of rhythms, of routine, and also it crunches in a satisfying way. Midway through the meal, you stop. Not because you're full, but because you've decided to be full. You reserve the right to change your mind in 20 minutes, or 2 minutes, or never. You saunter away with the air of someone who has just attended a moderately acceptable banquet. The food wasn't thrilling, but the company was adequate. The human crouches beside you, reaching out for a quick pet. You allow it, briefly. The hand strokes once behind your ears. and you let out a half purr before casually stepping just out of reach. You're not done with them. You're just reminding them of the balance of power. A faint click draws your attention. The back door. Birds. Without even meaning to. Your muscles tense. Your eyes narrow. Somewhere beyond that glass lies the outside, filled with noise and texture and smells that make your brain fizz. You won't go out there. You're not allowed to. But you dream of it, often, and you hate it. Just a little. A moth flutters against the screen, and your whole body becomes a coil of intent. You crouch, tail twitching. You launch upward with full theatrical commitment, paws smacking the door, claws extended. You do not catch the moth. The human laughs. You blink at them, slowly. The feline version of "you'll pay for this." With dignity barely intact, you descend. Resume grooming immediately. Pretend the attack never happened. Dignity, after all, is not about perfection. It's about pretending you meant to do it that way. Eventually, the human goes back to their screen, tapping and clicking like the dull primates they are. You return to the center of the kitchen floor and lie down. You roll onto your back, one paw stretched high, eyes half-lidded. You are full, you are calm, and you are plotting your next move. It begins as a twitch, a faint ripple under your shoulder blade, then a second stronger jolt near the base of your tail. Something ancient has awakened, a primitive signal buried deep in the soft tissue of your very being. You bolt. No thought, no hesitation, no regard for surrounding furniture or breakable items. One moment you're a serene loaf of fur and fluff lounging in the kitchen. The next you are a streak of feline lightning darting under the table, over a chair, then halfway up the couch, legs flailing, eyes wide, ears flat. Zoomies, the sacred rite of sprinting with no destination. The instinctual chaos of energy release, wrapped in pure, chaotic elegance. You launch yourself up onto the windowsill, then off again in one fluid arc, tearing through the hallway as though ghosts are chasing you. You hit the rug and perform a sideways crab skitter. Your tail puffs up like a feather duster. There's no enemy, just the vibe. In the background, the human watches helplessly. "Oh, you've got the zoomies again," they say, with the affection one reserves for a toddler covered in jam. You don't hear them. You're deep inside the moment. To you, the house is now a jungle of imagined predators and invisible rival cats. The ottoman, a rival tiger. The curtain, a serpent. That crumpled receipt on the floor, probably a witch in disguise. You leap vertically for no reason. Claw the carpet with the passion of a jazz drummer on espresso. Sprint through the kitchen again, nearly wiping out at the turn. You don't know what triggered this surge of adrenaline. It could have been a remembered slight, a phantom sound, or just the echo of your ancestors, chasing prey across moonlit dunes. But now you're in it, fully committed. You gallop into the bedroom, slide on the hardwood, vault onto the bed, and pause, perched atop the duvet, like a gargoyle on a cathedral. Eyes dilated, chest heaving, silence. Then you pounce on your own tail. You spin in dizzy circles, batting and biting, convinced for the 13th time this week that it's a rogue agent in your midst. But your tail wins. Again. Dazed, you flop over, belly exposed, legs akimbo. Your breath slows, and so does the pulse of whatever wild spirit possessed you moments ago. The trance breaks like a wave. The room, once filled with the thunder of tiny paws, now returns to peace. And you? You start licking your paw like none of it ever happened. There is no shame in this world, only naps and selective memory. As you rest, licking methodically behind your ear, the human passes by and gently steps over you, muttering something about lunchtime cardio. You pretend not to notice, but you are acutely aware of how impressive you looked during that couch leap. Eventually, you stretch out once more, your body long and lean like a melted candle. The floor cools your belly. Your ears twitch at distant sounds. The hum of the fridge, a crow outside, the soft clink of dishes in the sink. But the storm is over. The demon exorcised. You return to stillness. To the untrained eye, you are napping. But deep inside, you are reliving the chase. The world is warm again. You lie beneath a shaft of sunlight, your fur glowing amber and gold. The beam stretches across the living room floor, like a path made just for you. A trail of light leading from the couch leg to the corner bookshelf. Naturally, you have claimed the very center. Your body is boneless now. A soft, furry puddle of cat. Legs draped loosely to the side. Chin on the hardwood. Your eyes are open only enough to see vague shapes drift past. The flicker of dust in the sunbeam. The occasional fly tracing lazy circles near the ceiling. The silhouette of your human walking into another room. You blink, slowly, one eye at a time. This is your temple. This is your moment. The sun patch is sacred, bestowed only a few hours a day, and often stolen by the dog next door who visits occasionally. But not today. Today, the sun is yours. You roll onto your side and begin to knead the air, paws flexing and curling in slow rhythmic waves. No blanket required. You need the very idea of comfort. You purr faintly, a barely there vibration, like distant thunder, not loud enough to perform, just enough to enjoy. You begin to drift, eyes fluttering, whiskers twitching. Your breath slows. The warmth seeps into your bones, your joints, the tips of your ears. Your dreams begin in this soft place. You dream of your younger self, a sleek, foolish kitten, with too much spring in your legs and too little fear in your heart. You remember chasing a pencil for 23 uninterrupted minutes. You remember attacking your own shadow. You remember the first time you met a cucumber. In your dream, you are stalking something silent, a prey animal of enormous consequence, perhaps a paper towel roll. You crouch, you wiggle, you leap, but you miss, because in your dream, you are also yourself, noble, powerful, but slightly clumsy when the stakes are low. Your tail flicks once in your sleep. A soft sound startles you back to wakefulness. The faint creak of the door, the crinkle of paper. You don't move, just open one eye. The human has returned with a package, something small and rectangular. It smells like cardboard, but with undertones of potential. They sit down beside you and begin to open it. You rise, slowly, with the weariness of a monarch disturbed during their royal nap, and approach. Not because you care what's inside the box, but because the box itself might be worth something. And there it is, the Holy Grail. A box just slightly smaller than your entire body. You step inside. It's a tight fit, but that's part of the magic. Your paws tuck in, your tail wraps around your side. The box crinkles faintly as you settle. Perfect. The human looks at you and sighs. You have an entire bed. You blink. Once. Regal. This is your bed now. And your throne. And possibly a spaceship. You're not entirely sure. You haven't decided yet. Boxes, after all, are like dreams. They hold only what you imagine. You fall asleep again, curled in the cardboard nook, the sunbeam having shifted slightly away. Your dreams pick up where they left off, somewhere between memory and myth, and far off in the real world, the day ticks forward without you. You awaken to silence, not the comforting kind, the suspicious kind. The kind of silence that suggests something is happening somewhere in the house, but you weren't invited. You lift your head, tilt your ears. The box crackles under you, but you're perfectly still. Then you hear it, the tiniest rustle, a whisper of motion. Wrapping paper, maybe aluminum foil. Your eyes narrow. You slink from the box, a low stretch elongating your entire form. Paws forward, back arched, tail high. You shake once, then drop low to the ground, belly hovering mere inches above the floor. Every step is silent, surgical. You become shadow and suspicion. The sound leads you to the kitchen. There, on the counter, a bag, unattended, slightly open. Your eyes reflect the refrigerator light, like two polished coins. You wait. One beat, two, then launch. Your paws land on the counter with perfect grace, but your landing rattles a spoon. It clinks against a mug. You freeze. The human calls out, "What are you doing up there?" You feign ignorance. You look at them, unbothered, vaguely offended, as if to say, "This is where I've always sat. Maybe you're in the wrong kitchen." They approach, wagging a finger. You casually slide off the counter, mid-sentence. Disappeared. Gone. You reappear moments later in the hallway, licking your paw. You are innocent. You are majestic. But you will return to that bag later, when the human forgets. For now, you saunter to your water bowl. It is full, and yet somehow not satisfying. You stare into it as though the water has personally betrayed you. You sniff it once, then walk away. Thirst remains, but principle matters more. Instead, you hop onto the bathroom sink. You wait. Minutes pass. The human walks by. You meow, not loudly, but with a distinct urgency. They turn on the faucet. Perfect. The stream is thin, barely a trickle, and slightly too cold, but you lap at it like it's from a mountain spring. The flavor is superior. The method, refined. You are a creature of taste. After your drink, you perch on the sink like a statue, watching your reflection. Your pupils expand. You bat at the mirror once. The other cat does the same. You stare at each other in confused acceptance. You hop down and decide it's time for a perimeter check. You patrol the home like a guard on shift. Living room secure. Bedroom, mostly in order. Bathroom, one towel slightly crooked. You leap up and fix it with a single swipe. Order is restored. But the moment of triumph is brief. Something outside has caught your attention. Birds. You rush to the window like a whirlwind in fur. Front paws on the sill, nose pressed to the glass. There, just beyond your reach, the feathery chaos of sparrows. You chirp, not a meow, not a purr, a strange chattering sound that vibrates in your throat, a primal echo of a time when you hunted for your food, not for fun. The birds scatter. You freeze, defeated by physics once again, but you do not pout. You sit there a while longer, tail flicking, eyes scanning. The world beyond the glass is a moving painting. Wind through trees, a jogger passing by. Somewhere, a dog barks. Distant, irrelevant. You turn your back to the window and sit down, dignified. It is nearly nap time again. The sun has moved. The box is occupied, somehow by a plush mouse you don't recall inviting. No matter. You curl up in the laundry basket instead. The clothes are warm and smell like the human. You bury your nose in a sweater and close your eyes. Outside, life continues. But you are done observing it. You have walked your kingdom. You have watched your prey. You have judged your people. Now you rest. Until dinner, or until the printer makes a sound. Whichever comes first. The printer clicks to life like thunder in a silent cathedral. You jolt upright in the laundry basket, fur slightly puffed, heart racing faster than you'd ever admit. For a moment, you are both warrior and coward, instincts screaming to investigate, dignity demanding you play it cool. You leap from the basket with less grace than usual and slink toward the source of the disturbance. Your steps are cautious, exaggerated, as though the carpet might betray you. There it is, the machine, humming, clicking, spitting paper like it's coughing up secrets. You crouch. It makes a sudden noise. You flee, only to return 3 seconds later, this time stalking it from the side. You circle it like prey. It whirs again. You strike. One powerful paw. Slap on the paper tray. The paper shifts slightly. Victory. The human shouts something from another room. You ignore it. You do not fear the machine. You choose to give it mercy. After the great printer ordeal, you sit in the hallway with your tail curled neatly around your paws and stare into the middle distance, thinking deep thoughts. Thoughts about the nature of curiosity, about gravity, about why the same squirrel keeps taunting you every Tuesday from the same tree. You contemplate the nap schedule. You contemplate revenge on the vacuum. You contemplate whether you were, in fact, a god in a past life, worshipped in temples, fed delicacies, bathed in luxury. It would explain your current standards. The day wears on. Your human returns to the room, stepping over you like a humble servant, avoiding the emperor's path. They scratch your head in passing. You accept this gesture. They lie down on the couch, unfolding a soft blanket. You jump up, not too quickly, lest it seem like you were waiting for them, and curl into a perfect loaf on their legs. This is a sacred position, both strategic and affectionate. You sleep there for a while, their hand absently stroking your back. Your purr engine ignites, soft and steady. This, you think, might be what peace feels like. Time passes. You do not measure it in hours. You measure it in eyelid droops and ear twitches. You dream again, but the dreams are simpler now. You chase light. You float through quiet corridors of memory. You are both small and vast, real and imagined. Then, a shift. The human moves, adjusts, repositions. You stand immediately, offended. You stare at them with dramatic betrayal. They apologize. You don't respond. Instead, you leap to the back of the couch and lie down with your back to them. Still close, but not forgiving. Not yet. The sound of kibble pouring into a bowl rings through the house. Your ears twitch. Food time. You descend from the couch like a fuzzy avalanche. You trot into the kitchen with purpose. You sniff the bowl, as if to say, is this what we're doing now? It is the same food as yesterday, the same food as the day before, but you eat it like it's a new delicacy discovered in a secret forest. You crunch with satisfaction. A fact while you dine. Cats have over 470 taste buds. Not as many as humans, but enough to be discerning. You are. You always have been. After dinner, you engage in your daily zoomies. No warning, no build-up. One moment you are licking your paw. The next, you are a rocket fueled by invisible chaos. You sprint through the hallway. You leap onto furniture. You scale a bookshelf. You usually pretend not to notice. You dart into the bathroom, skidding dramatically on the tile. Your tail is a plume of fire behind you. You chase nothing. You are hunted by nothing. But you run like the fate of the world depends on your speed. Then, as suddenly as it began, it ends. You collapse in the hallway. gasping faintly. Fur disheveled, soul restored. The zoomies are a mystery. No scientist has fully explained them. Historians still argue whether they are a remnant of wild instincts or a performance art only understood by cats themselves. You lie on your back now, belly exposed to the heavens, legs akimbo. You know the danger of this position, the exposure, but you trust this moment. You trust the house, the day. The ceiling fan spins above you in lazy circles. You close your eyes. The boring life continues, but to you it is everything. Night returns, like velvet draped across the sky. The house grows quiet. The lamps flicker to life one by one, casting golden pools of light across the floor. You rise from your sprawl in the hallway and begin your evening rounds. Every cat knows this sacred duty, the patrol. You start in the living room, sniffing under the couch for forgotten crumbs or intruding insects. You inspect the corner where the plant sits, the one you occasionally bite when you're feeling dramatic. Tonight you leave it be. You move to the windowsill and perch there, backlit by the moon. Outside, the street is quiet. A car hums in the distance. A moth flutters drunkenly against the glass. Your pupils widen. Your tail twitches. You chatter softly, a sound born of ancient instincts and unrequited hunger. The moth doesn't stand a chance, and yet it is always out of reach. You paw the glass once, for ceremony. You hop down. In the kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator greets you like an old friend. You sit beside it, not for any reason, just because. Its white noise soothes you. It makes you feel like part of something bigger, an ecosystem of hums and creaks and mechanical sighs. A soft rustling draws your attention. A paper bag left on the counter. You leap up and sniff it. Empty, but it smells like promise. You stick your head in, your entire head. You linger longer than necessary. Then you knock it off the counter, because you can. A crash, a pause. You stare down at the bag like it betrayed you. The human calls from another room. You blink slowly, as if to say, it's lived. Back on the floor, you pass by your food dish. Still some kibble remains, though it's lost its earlier charm. You eat one piece, leave the rest. The litter box is next. You enter it like a knight approaching the battlefield. You dig with gusto, flinging pebbles like confetti. You perform your duty with solemn precision. Then you exit, fast, as though fleeing a crime scene. Clean paws, clear conscience. You leap onto the bed before your human arrives. Claim the top corner, the one near the pillow. It's your spot. You've earned it. When they finally appear, sleepy and soft, they chuckle. Already here, huh? You pretend not to hear them. They settle under the blanket. You stretch along their side, one paw resting on their arm. They sigh. You purr, a deep melodic vibration. Not just sound, but sensation. A cat's purr, they say, can heal. It vibrates between 25 and 150 hertz, the same frequencies used in therapeutic settings to mend bones and ease pain. Some believe it's how cats heal themselves. Others think it's how cats heal us. Historians still argue whether ancient cultures understood this power, whether the Egyptians worshipped you just for your looks or for something deeper. You close your eyes, ears twitching with every distant sound. A neighbor's dog, a creaking pipe, the echo of your own breath. You are content. But then, the enemy arrives, the red dot. It flickers on the wall, sudden and blinding, taunting you with its ghostly dance. You snap upright, eyes locked, muscles coiled. You leap, claws first, paws flailing. It vanishes. You sit back down, betrayed and bewildered. You look at your human. They laugh. You narrow your eyes. The red dot, that cursed phantom, returns briefly, then disappears again. You will not chase it this time. You are above such nonsense. You are regal. You sit with your back to it. That'll show it. Soon the lights go out. The house hushes again, and you lie there, eyes half-lidded, nose pressed gently against your human's arm. The boring life is a cat, they say. But what do they know? Your body hums with dreams and history. You are both hunter and healer, playful child and ancient sage. You sleep, and outside, the world turns. The night deepens into its quietest hours, the sort of silence that wraps around the house like a blanket, the kind of silence that even your paws tread lightly through. You stir from your place at the foot of the bed, where the warmth of your human has long since faded into the sheets. Their breathing is soft, rhythmic. It comforts you, but it does not stop you from rising. This is the witching hour, or more accurately, the zoomy hour. You do not announce your intent. There is no warning. One moment you are still, a loaf of fur and whiskers. The next, an eruption. You explode from the bed with an acrobatic twist that would make any Olympic gymnast proud, thundering across the room with a dramatic slide across the hardwood floor. Your claws tap like typewriter keys. You skid around a corner, loop back, then dart under a chair for no apparent reason. A hallway sprint follows. You ricochet off a wall, dash past a mirror, pause to glare at your reflection, that imposter, and then vanish again, tail puffed and proud. What triggered this? A dream? A draft? The moon? Science has no firm answer. Historians, too, remain divided. Some say it's instinct, the leftover call of the wild, a simulated hunt. Others argue it's boredom, or an ancient ritual, or perhaps the cat simply wants to feel alive. You collapse dramatically in the living room, panting through your nose, eyes wide and unblinking. You sit like a sphinx, chest out, tail curled neatly, and then, as if the madness never happened, you begin grooming. With deliberate precision, you lick your paw and draw it over your face. First the left side, then the right. Ears are cleaned, eyes are dabbed. You reach your back leg and stretch it skyward in a position that would alarm any chiropractor. Cleanliness is sacred. You pause briefly to scratch your neck with the hind leg, thumping the floor rhythmically. Then satisfied, you wander toward the human's laundry pile and bury yourself inside. The socks smell familiar. The t-shirt is perfect for kneading. You massage it with your front paws, alternating rhythmically, claws gently digging into the fabric. This is called making biscuits, a behavior passed down from kittenhood, from nursing and comfort, and the echo of a mother's warmth. You do not know this consciously. You just know it feels right. You purr while you do it, deep like a heartbeat. The human stirs in the next room, but does not rise. Eventually, you return to the bedroom. The bed is taken, every inch, but you find your place, between the knees, where it's warm and just a little annoying to them. Perfect. Before sleep, you stare out the window. The moon is low now. The world is soaked in silver. You watch a fox cross the street, its tail long and silent. You twitch your whiskers once, a salute, a nod from one night creature to another. Behind you, your human breathes, steady, safe. You blink slowly, once, twice, then your head droops. The night has been lived, explored, defended, padded across in invisible footprints. You are the guardian of the dark, the whisper in the hallway, the soft weight that presses against a sleeping chest, and as your body curls once more into a perfect spiral. Your tail wraps neatly to your nose, and you fade into dreams of birds, bugs, and endless empty boxes. Dawn begins its slow approach, not with a trumpet, but a whisper, a shift in the hue of darkness, a softening of shadows. The sky outside your window goes from charcoal to pewter. Then, slowly, hints of lavender and pale gold start to bloom behind the trees. You are the first to know. Your eyes open before the light hits the walls. You rise quietly, stretch long, back arched, claws extended, and yawn with theatrical flair. Your jaw opens so wide, you nearly dislocate something. Then you shake it off. The house is still asleep, for now. You make your way to the windowsill again, your perch of contemplation. A few birds are beginning their chorus, tentative chirps, uncertain but hopeful. Their songs float in on the breeze, and your ears flick independently toward each note, like satellite dishes fine-tuning a signal. You chirp softly in response, the language of yearning. You watch the world come to life. A newspaper lands on a driveway. A porch light clicks off. Somewhere, a neighbor's sprinkler hisses to life, catching the first slants of sunlight like diamond spray. This is your moment of meditation, but the hunger creeps in. You jump from the sill, your landing as soft as breath, and saunter into the kitchen. You sit beside the food bowl, not meowing, not yet, just waiting, watching, willing the human to rise. Eventually, the bedroom door creaks. You race toward it like you hadn't been awake for an hour already. You meow now, that mournful operatic note, a song of starvation, of neglect, of a cat abandoned to the cruel fate of an empty bowl. Your human mumbles something incoherent. You guide them, weaving between their legs, nearly tripping them, a dance you both know by heart. They shuffle to the pantry. The sound of kibble pouring into the bowl is glorious, like rain after drought, like coins in a wishing well. You eat, but not greedily. You maintain your composure. You are refined. Midway through, you pause to look up, just to remind your human that you still exist and you have not forgotten their service. After breakfast, the day begins in earnest. You sit in the bathroom while your human brushes their teeth, staring at them through the mirror, not blinking, just observing. You paw at the faucet. They turn it on. You lick the trickle. Water from the bowl is fine, but this is premium hydration. Chilled, fresh, forbidden. As they shower, you wait outside the curtain. When they emerge, you pretend to be startled. You dash off like a shadow, caught in a flashlight. Then return moments later, cool as ever. You nap on the warm towel pile while they get dressed. Later, they leave. The door clicks shut. The lock turns. You are alone. And now, your domain expands. The house is yours again. You begin your daily inspection. No surface is left unwalked. No countertop spared your fur. You leap onto the fridge, then to the top of a cabinet. You sit like a gargoyle, surveying your kingdom. You knock a pen off a desk. You unravel part of a toilet paper roll. You nap in the laundry basket again, this time under the socks. You relocate a toy mouse to the kitchen, though you don't remember doing it. The sun shifts through the house, casting long, warm patches of light. You chase one, then lie in it, then fall asleep, halfway through licking your leg. And outside, life continues. Cars pass, clouds drift, but inside, the clock ticks on at your pace, slow, luxurious, and entirely dictated by whim. You are the monarch of monotony, and yet never bored, because everything to you is worth noticing. That speck on the floor, investigated. That moth wing in the window, catalogued. That creak in the ceiling, tracked with unwavering eyes. Historians might not write about your vigilance. Scholars may not study your naps. But in your quiet kingdom, you reign supreme, a scholar of stillness, a connoisseur of the mundane. And when the human returns, laden with bags and noise, and the scent of outside, you greet them with a stretch and a slow blink. No rush. They missed you more than you missed them. But you'll let them believe otherwise. Evening returns, and with it, the soft rituals of reconnection. You circle the human's legs as they unpack their day, one shoe off, then the other, bags down, keys in the bowl. You meow once casually, not out of desperation, just acknowledgement. You are civil, gracious, in control. They speak to you, of course. Some sentence like, "Hey, furball," or "Did you miss me?" You don't answer, not really. You just headbutt their shin and move along, tail high, making sure your scent is left behind. A welcome home signature. You trail them to the kitchen and sit, a perfect loaf on the floor. You observe. You blink. You are there, but not needy. Dinner for them smells strange tonight. Spicy, foreign, not involving you. Still, you watch with the patience of a monk as they stir something in a pan, sit at the table, scroll on their phone. You make your move subtly. You jump onto the chair across from them. You don't go for the food. You simply exist in their space, watching, close, quiet. Sometimes they cave. A small piece of chicken lands on the floor accidentally. You sniff, approve, accept, the fair offering. After the meal, they clean up, and you lead the way to the living room. This is your favorite part. They collapse into the couch with a sigh, remote in hand, socks off, and you leap up with a single bounce, landing precisely beside their thigh. You begin the slow motion lean. Inch by inch, you mold your body against theirs. Not on the lap, not tonight, but close, side by side, equal footing, the faint heat from their arm, enough to lull your eyes into half moons. They put on a show, something loud and fast and full of flashing images. You close your eyes. The sound becomes a blur, a hum, a comforting wall of white noise. You purr, not because they pet you, but because you are here, present, alive, exactly where you're supposed to be. The night deepens again. They get up, turn off lights. You follow, not right behind them, but with deliberate timing, a few steps delayed, like a ghost who doesn't want to be seen. In the bathroom, you watch them brush their teeth. Again, why do they do this twice a day? You rub against the door frame, then leap onto the sink. You sit, tail wrapped around your feet, as if guarding the ritual. Back in the bedroom, they fluff pillows, set alarms, sigh once more. They climb into the sheets and reach out a hand. You don't run. You settle in quickly, curling into the same crook of knee or chest you always choose. You give one quiet meow, just one. Enough to say, "I am here." They whisper something, maybe your name, maybe not. Your purring starts on instinct. It fills the room like a soft generator, a rhythm in the dark, a presence made of breath and heartbeat and fur. You need the blanket once, twice, then you lie still. And in that silence, they fall asleep before you do. You remain alert just for a while. Ears twitching at passing cars, nose flaring at strange scents, eyes catching the flicker of headlights on the wall. You are both the lullaby and the sentinel. And slowly, you let yourself drift. You dream of windowsills, of cardboard boxes that never end, of laser dots you can actually catch, of the life you live, the boring life, the perfect life, as a cat. The dreamscape begins with cardboard. You're inside a box that stretches into infinity. Every time you press your paw into a corner, it unfolds into another. The walls are warm. The scent is familiar, like a blend of sunlight, dust, and the faint tang of packing tape. You run, but not urgently, not like prey or panic. You run like you own the place, like this endless hallway of cardboard corridors was built just for you. A feather drifts down from nowhere. You leap and swat it with the precision of a gymnast, landing silently, always silently. A sudden shift. You're in a garden now. Not the one outside your home, but one drawn by memory. The smells are sharper than life. Lavender, honeysuckle, wet soil. There's a rusted gate ahead. You push through it with your face. Inside, butterflies. So many. You bat at one, miss bat again, miss again. But you don't care. They're just distractions. Light and flutter, and nonsense. The real treasure is the patch of sun warming a terracotta tile near a stone fountain. You walk toward it, but before you lie down, you stop. There is a presence. A giant cat. Not hostile, not friendly. Just there. It's you. But older, larger, regal. It looks at you, blinks once, turns and walks into the hedge. You follow. Now it's night. A rooftop under a wide black sky. Stars glitter like grains of rice scattered across velvet. You sit, tail flicking at the edge. Below, humans talk, laugh, live. Tiny lights in square rooms. You don't envy them. You are above them. The wind carries up scents, soup, smoke, something burning. You sniff, approve, sit a little straighter. In this dream, your body feels limitless. Muscles without effort, eyes without blink. You see everything, hear more, smell layers of reality, and then food, a sound. Back in the waking world, a footstep, a creak. You shift slightly on the bed, still dreaming, half aware. You don't fully wake, not yet, but your body repositions, stretching toward the warmest spot, turning once, circling like a dog, then remembering you're not one. The purring resumes. This time it comes not just from your throat, but from the dream itself. Everything in this landscape vibrates with that sound. The trees, the clouds, the ground. It's not even a noise anymore. It's the rhythm of your existence. You pad across a marble floor. Candles flicker in sconces that don't drip wax. The golden bowl awaits you. Tuna, chicken, shrimp. You smell them all, and none. You don't eat. You are fed. You leap into a throne, made of cushions and yarn. It coils beneath you like a nest. You sit. You blink slowly, and the world bends around your comfort. This is the cat dream. Eternal, cozy, nonsensical, profound, and somewhere in the far-off background, the real world waits. The hum of the refrigerator, the soft snore of your human, the occasional groan of floorboards, adjusting to temperature shift. But you stay here just a little longer, because the boring life of a cat, it isn't boring at all. It's just quiet, still, perfect. The silence of the house settles like a soft blanket across the furniture, the floorboards, the spaces between shadows. You shift in your sleep, not because of discomfort, but out of habit. A gentle realignment. Back paw stretches, front paw curls. Your whiskers twitch, sensing a dream mouse sprint past a dream cupboard. But slowly, subtly, your senses begin their return. The scent of your human's fabric softener. The distant murmur of a neighbor's car pulling into the lot. The tiniest flicker of dawn, not yet visible, but sensed. A pressure behind closed eyelids. A change in light molecules. You're not awake, but you're aware. Cats are always aware. Your ear flicks once as the heater clicks on. You purr softly, though it fades before it fully rises. Your tail makes a slow, half-hearted flick. The bed dips slightly as your human turns in their sleep, rustling the blanket, the same one you've been burrowing into for hours now. You don't move, but your body registers the change, the shift in temperature, the movement of air. You're still half dreaming, really, but the instincts remain. You hear a bird outside. One, just one. It's not even singing, just a question mark in the dark. One lonely chirp in a sea of stillness, and your eyes, still closed, track the sound. This is the in-between. Not quite night, not quite morning. A secret hour, one only cats and ghosts are awake for. You open one eye, just to check. No movement, no threat. Just the soft blue-gray tint of a world, waiting to be illuminated. You rise, finally, and stretch in a sequence so luxurious, it should be illegal. Front legs long, spine arched, tail held high. You flex each toe like royalty testing velvet. Then you sit, pause, and lick your shoulder, because rituals matter. The window ledge calls. You jump, no thought required, and land with the practiced grace of 1,000 ancestors. You settle. The outside is dim, quiet, and oddly reverent. Another bird, then two. The sky begins its shift from charcoal to ash, to milk glass blue. Your eyes widen slightly, pupils narrowing. This to you is theater, the real performance, the early hours of everything waking up. And you, as always, are ahead of the game. There's no need to yowl or announce yourself. No need to chase. No need to run. You are an observer, a witness. The feline lighthouse watching the fog roll back. And inside, stillness, soft breath, warm blankets. Your human is still in dreams, probably about spreadsheets, or flying, or something that makes no sense. You remain, tail curling, ears rotating slowly, catching the hums of morning. The refrigerator's buzz, the pipes groaning. A dog 3 streets over, barking at a squirrel hallucination. You blink, slowly, once, twice. It's almost time to return to the bedroom and remind your human that breakfast is a thing. But not yet. This moment is for you. This hour belongs to cats, to the boring life, to the still watching soul. The first full light of dawn spills into the room like milk from an upturned bowl. Soft, slow, a little careless. It stretches over the floorboards, curling into corners, sliding up the walls like a whisper. You, still perched on the windowsill, blink it in. Not startled, not impressed, just noting. You don't chase it or squint. You simply watch as cats do, with that ancient gaze that suggests you've seen 1,000 dawns before this one, and will likely see 1,000 more. And then, with all the elegance of an empress descending from her throne, you leap down. The hardwood floor is cooler now. The sun hasn't warmed it yet, but you pad silently, as if floating on velvet. No clicks, no squeaks, just paws meeting gravity and refusing to make a fuss about it. You pass the chair, the one your human bought, just for themselves, but that you've quietly claimed. You rub against it in passing, not because it's in your way, but because it exists and you are generous. The hallway yawns ahead. The bedroom door is cracked open. Inside, the smell of sleep, the soft rhythm of breath, the distant scent of yesterday's shampoo. You enter. Your human is tangled in blankets, like some kind of clumsy nest-building bird. One leg sticks out. Their face is half buried. You approach with measured grace. A single meow. Software polite, but intentional. No response. You leap, not with drama, but with inevitability. Landing just beside them, tail upright. You pause, then step carefully across the landscape of their body. This is your morning walk, chest to stomach to pillow. They stir. You sit and purr. Not because you're hungry, not because you want something, just because this is what happens next. Eventually, a groggy hand reaches for you. Misses. Tries again. Finds fur. You lean into it, just a little. They mumble something. You don't care what. It's probably not important. The day is here now. You stand. Turn once. Settle into the crook of their arm. The one that won't cramp immediately. You close your eyes. Yes, it's morning. Yes, the world is awake. Yes, birds are chirping, and coffee is brewing, and the mailman is thinking about leaving a package. But you're starting a nap, because that's the rhythm of things. The boring life of a cat isn't governed by clocks. It doesn't care about schedules or alarms or inboxes. It flows in naps and snacks and judgmental stares. It drifts. And you, dear feline soul, are drifting again, purring in someone's arms, having won once again, without lifting a claw. The morning grows louder now. The house creaks with motion, not abrupt, but inevitable. Your human stirs with more intention. Blankets shift like tectonic plates. That big glowing rectangle, the one that flashes strange colors and emits noise, comes to life across the room. You yawn wide, baring all your tiny dagger teeth. Not to threaten, just to remind the universe that you could, if you wanted to. You rise, give a gentle stretch, and jump down. The floor is warmer now, kissed by sunlight. There's motion in the kitchen. The cabinet opens. The fridge hums. A spoon clinks in a mug. You walk slowly to the doorway, tail held high and paws in dramatic silhouette, like a forgotten Greek statue of smugness. You sit. Your human notices. "Hey, buddy," they say, their voice still gravel from sleep. You blink. They interpret this as affection. You will allow this. Then, the sound you were waiting for. The gentle tap of kibble against ceramic. The clink of your dish being placed in the same corner it always is. You move only when it's ready. Never before. Because you are not a dog. You do not fetch. You dine. With dignity. And somehow make it look like you're judging the ingredients, even though you eat them all. Outside the window, birds dance in the trees. Sunlight warms the sill again. A breeze slips through a crack in the pane. The world spins on. But you have eaten. You are full. You move again to your favorite patch of rug in the living room, where the sunlight forms a perfect nap-sized square. You settle. Curl your tail around yourself like a comma on parchment, and purr. You've already forgotten the dreams of last night. You've already started new ones. Because in the boring life of a cat, sleep isn't just a function. It's an art form, a religion, a revolution against productivity, and you're its most loyal disciple. As the day stretches ahead, with all its chores, traffic, meetings, and other human absurdities, you curl deeper into yourself. The last sounds you hear, before slipping into slumber again, are the birds, the hum of the fridge, and your own slow breath. And so it goes. Another chapter in the profoundly uneventful, quietly magical life of a cat. And now, the house is quiet again. The sun continues its slow arc across the sky, casting lazy shadows that stretch and sigh across the walls. Somewhere in another room, a clock ticks, not loudly, just enough to remind you that time still passes, even when you're resting. Your body is warm, safe, and still. A perfect curl of comfort, just like the cat you've been tonight. No rush, no obligation, no need to do or be anything more than what you are. You've eaten, explored, napped, observed. You've judged your surroundings with a gentle disinterest. You've purred for no reason and sat in sunbeams like they were made just for you. And now you're drifting. Each breath is slower than the last, each muscle more relaxed. The soft soundscape around you, maybe a fan, maybe distant birdsong, maybe nothing at all, becomes your blanket, wrapping around your senses and muting the world. Let go of the list. Let go of the chatter. Let go of the need to understand or accomplish. Tonight, you're a cat, and cats do not worry. They don't regret. They don't plan. They simply are. So you breathe softly. You sink slowly. You let your thoughts purr themselves quiet. No alarms, no deadlines, no one watching. Just you, safe in your own little sunbeam of silence. Still, warm, loved. The boring life of a cat may not be so boring after all. Good night.